blisters. So what you're going to do with horseshoes is, again, I do not care whether you start medial side, lateral side, does not matter to me. But you're creating a horseshoe. Does a horseshoe close? No. So what I want you to do is you're going to start at the Achilles. Again, you're a little bit more proximal. And you're going to anchor on one side, come around the Achilles, and then anchor on the other side. If you want to start like this and come around, so it's from one side of the distal anchor to the other. I like to start actually behind, and you're coming distal. So you have 3 that you start proximal on the Achilles and then come distal down the foot. Minimal of 3 horseshoes. Okay?
There's going to be 3 each on everything?
No. All right. From here, you are going to do what's called figure of 8s. Now, this is where, for those of you who tape, you might tape a little bit different. Does not matter to me. You can lock up or you can lock down. As long as that heel is locked, that's all I care about. Okay? Now, I do things continuously. And if that is something that works for you, it's a lot easier if you learn to do continuous horseshoes. Continuous heel locks. All right? But it takes a lot of practice. When you tape an ankle, it's all about the angles. All right? If you don't have good angles, and I'm talking about 45-degree angles, if you do not have good angles, you are going to have wrinkles all over that tape. Okay? The tape's not going to give. So don't try to fight it because the tape will win. Okay? So, when you tape, or when you do a horseshoe, I would just show you how to do a horseshoe first. All right? I'm going to start on the lateral side. It doesn't matter. You have to have at least 2 total, 1 lateral, 1 medial. Now, when I do continuous, I end up with 4. That's fine too. But you have to have at least 2, 1 on each side. So if I start lateral, I start on the top of the ankle, okay, at a 45-degree angle. I'm coming down at an angle. I'm coming across the back of the foot. I'm coming down behind the Achilles, and I'm coming back up and basically tearing the tape where I started. Okay, that's a lateral heel lock. Medial, give me this foot. I'm going to start 45-degree angle, come down, go to the opposite side of the heel. All right, I'm locking the heel, so I'm coming back behind and coming up, and again, basically stopping where I started. Okay?
How many of those do we need, you said?
2 total, 1 medial, 1 lateral. Okay? So that is a heel lock. Now, before I show you continuous, actually, let's stay in that one. The last thing that is required is what's known as a figure of 8. You only need 1, okay? And it has to be on the medial side, all right? You only need 1. It has to be on the medial side. If you have more, so be it. I like to start my figure of 8s underneath the medial malleolus. Again, 45-degree angle coming up. I'm coming behind the back of the foot, across the front of the foot, back behind the Achilles, and back up. A lot of people think it's the same as a heel lock, but it's not. Okay? I like to start underneath the medial malleolus, behind the foot, across the front, again at a 45-degree angle, back behind, and end where not end where I started, but end at the top. Okay, so you're pretty much ending at the same spot you did with your heel locks, but it's a different type of tape. job. Okay? So, if I was doing this continuous with a heel lock, I actually put my figure of 8 on first. I don't care which order you do it, as long as they're there. So if you want to try continuous, I start with my figure of 8, so underneath the medial malleolus. Cross the front of the foot at a 45-degree angle and come back up. Now, if you think about how I did the heel lock, I started on the top of the foot, right? I had my 45-degree angle. Okay, that's not going to work. That's what you do. If your angle's not right, just tear the tape, reposition the tape, get a good angle, and go from there. All right? Come back behind the heel. Stay nice and tight to the heel. All right? Stay nice and tight to the heel. Come back up and tear. That's a continuous figure of 8 into a heel lock. I can do the same thing on the lateral side. Okay? Come up. Now, if my angle is good, I'm starting in the same position that my heel lock started in. 45-degree angle, down behind the back of the heel, back up, and there you go. You have a continuous figure 8 into a heel lock. You don't have to do that, but if you choose, for some people, it's easier to do it continuous. But again, the angles are going to be key. You've got to get those 45-degree angles. Okay? And then from there, you just close it up. You always start proximal and close to distal. All right? So what you want to do is cover all these loose ends, because if she puts her sock on and these ends aren't covered, they're going to start rolling down. All right? So you want to make sure that you're covering your proximal anchor. Again, you got to follow the contours of the leg. So I'm angling up right now. You're overlapping the previous tape by half. Once you get down here, you probably will have to change your angle a little bit. Get all those loose ends covered. Might have to put a few more horseshoes on to cover. Now, to get the backs, pick your foot up, show them. See this big, what's called a window, okay, where you see the pre-wrap? We need to make sure that that's all covered. So what I want to do is to try to do an anchor around her foot like this. You're probably going to get a lot of gaps. I like to just come from the bottom of the foot, so I know I'm over that window, and then just come across the front. So that's covered now. Okay, I can show them that. That's covered now, but the last strip of tape that you're going to put on is supporting the medial arch. So there's two ways you can do it. You're covering all these loose ends, but it's the last strip, okay? You can either start on the bottom of the foot, again, like I have done, and then pulling up on the medial side, supporting the arch, and laying down the lateral side.
Which arch are we supporting?
The medial arch. So you can start from behind, pull up on the medial arch, and just lay down the lateral side. Or you can start laterally, come around the back of the foot, and pull up on the medial side. Whichever you prefer. Okay? But all those loose ends should be covered.